But you didn't even say your premise. Like, what's your premise?
Premise?
Yeah, you said you're gonna use Wally.
You just actually the argument for Gilgamesh beating Wally.
What?
God.
Why do you
Keep
keep
hopping off
going
the
off
app.
the app, bro?
Yeah.
Stop doing that, bro.
All right, just give me your argument. What's gonna be your argument for Gilgamesh beating my character?
Yeah, by premise, does he mean proposition as well? Because I don't know why.
Yes, that's what I mean. Because that's how
Well,
we make
premise-
goes.
Please stop
premise and
clicking your
proposition
fucking
are
mic,
two
bro.
distinct things.
Yeah, you wouldn't say what's my proposition and ask me for what's my premise.
Okay.
This is very high tier debate already.
It's
Why do you
ridiculous.
keep closing the app and clicking
Yeah,
your
when y'all
mic?
ask the question,
Yeah, so my
Y'all gotta
proposition
stop
is
putting
just my
words in my mouth.
character wins.
Okay, via what?
I already asked you for your argument. Why are you trying to burden trip? Give me the argument.
I mean, I would go to that at the beginning when he asked you that, but hey,
My character is just on a pre-ontological stratum operationally. That's gonna be the scaling. Now, what's gonna be the argument for your character beating mine?
this
So
guy.
I think. Okay, hold on. Basically,
God.
but then
Stop hopping off the app.
Yo,
Well,
like,
who's interrupting me?
yeah.
Can I talk? Can I talk?
you keep on hopping off the app. We can't hear
We
you.
can't
on the
hear you.
app.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Wait, hold on. Give me a sec. Let me mute myself.
Like that's
This guy.
He's gonna need the AI warlord to formulate.
You know,
the
yeah,
debate.
the debate right now. Cortex.
Is somebody recording? Is literally Batman recording?
No, I'm just confused.
All right, I'm back.
All right, give me the argument.
Yeah, my argument is that Gilgamesh outscales.
It's a base assertion. It's not an argument. Give me the argument.
Yeah, it is. Okay, yeah, I have him at outer because he scales to the reverse side of the world, which has no concept of space or time.
Based on?
Okay, hold on. How do I send images? Because I don't know how to like show scans.
And
Just-
before you do that, okay, but what does he? How does he scale to this thing? What does he do?
I mean,
Yo,
I
Raiden,
don't know.
bro, chill, bro, please.
Okay. I got you.
Stop talking. I mean, you guys can talk now. I think this guy's dead.
So Gilgamesh versus Wally is a debate, right?
Yeah.
What is folks doing off the app?
Accent chat GPT for a
I'm
nerd.
just famous high tier doesn't know what a proposition is.
What's the who's the judge?
I don't even know. This guy's
I mean, like, we could probably just like a fields panel, or like we're gonna get rec anyway, so you can just get someone to judge the rec.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
6'10", like fraudulent Chad Zamasutok, just like ducked my like terrible son 10 for the hour.
Zamasutok already like hit you with like rhetorical points with asking you for your premise, so it might
Yeah,
already
bro.
be over.
Like Zamasutok, like he's just gonna slam everybody, bro. He knows all the words, bro. He knows
Yeah,
everything.
but wait, Bass, what's gonna be the premise?
Yeah, bro. Shit, bro. The premise, man. Like, what the fuck is the premise? What's the premise, dude? I think like
the premise.
he won. Yeah, I think
Bro,
the
it should
premise
not
is
take
that
you
the
this long
premise.
to like get
So
the
what's the
argument
premise
out.
of your premise?
He's asking the AI warlord to
Premise
say
of
My
like,
premise will be my premise because it's my premise. My premise. That's my premise.
Yeah, what's gonna be the premise?
For 3 minutes, bro. What the fuck are you doing?
ooh,
What's gonna be the
wait,
premise?
is
What's
that-
gonna be
is that
the
full
hypostatic
rhetoric?
union of your premise?
Wait,
I'm guessing
yeah,
this nigga's all in
didn't
Discord
he
getting
ask for like
scammed right now.
a hypothetical proposition, not knowing what the word proposition means?
Can you
And then he's
please
saying
get
that
back
it's
on the
similar
app,
to-
sir? Sir, please get back on the app.
Oh man, this is bad.
Yeah, what did he say?
Get back on the app so you can slam 10, bro.
Yeah, this low tier 10.
This stuttering monster 10, bro. 411, bro.
Low
Very
balling
true.
Susano here. Wait, bro, you guys
This
still talking about
sub
fucking
5 human.
Sasuke?
Yo, if he stays off the app too long, it's gonna kick him off the panel.
Yeah.
Please, yo, like, come back to slam this sub 10 human being.
Bro,
All right,
he's
I'm back. My
he's
bad.
just
I had something
formulating
to
it.
do. Let's continue the debate.
All right, give me your argument.
I already told you. How do I show scans? Because I want to show my evidence.
Before you show the scan, can you describe me as to what way does your character scale to this quote unquote universal thing?
It's basically the world in context to this, and he can destroy it. He's verbatim stated to literally be able. It was gonna rip it in half.
Okay, so the world. Okay, let's say the world is A, right? The A is universal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say character Gilgamesh is B. So do you think that him interacting with this would be the sufficient and necessary indication for him to be ontologically equivalent with this thing?
It would be because you
Okay,
literally. He
so
would
that
have to
means that
schedule.
you're creating a biconditional connection with this thing. You're making
How
the
am I?
case. You said what?
How am I creating a biconditional thing?
Because biconditional is A only if and A is no biconditional is if. Oh my bad. Biconditional is A if and only if B. Basically, that means it's a material equivalence. Where'd you go?
Yo, my bad. All right, so basically, I'll address this in a minute. I'm not really creating a biconditional statement per se, as if it's stated to be something he can do.
No. You don't understand what a biconditional is. You just accepted the fact that you're creating a biconditional statement, and I'm gonna explain to you what a biconditional means. A
A biconditional statement is saying something like, if I buy a new wallet because I need one. That would be
that's not.
something
That's
like
a
that.
conditional statement. That's not a biconditional. That's just a conditional. So listen, this is what it means.
That
It's
would
if.
be.
Listen. Okay. It's a biconditional statement. Is just means P if and only if Q. It means that if P then Q, if Q then P. That means that there's a material equivalence between the two. We cannot have P
okay.
and we cannot have Q. Separate. So okay, listen. The reason why.
You're kind
Yeah,
of.
you said what?
Never mind. You heard what I said.
What did you say?
I said.
He's actually trolling. There's no way he's not.
doing this, bro. You're
I
doing this
said-
on purpose.
He has
Can
to be
y'all
trolling.
chill? Can y'all chill? Like, I'm debating 10. When I said I'm debating all of y'all at once. Like, y'all gotta chill out. All right, anyways,
That's what he's like.
a biconditional statement, right, is basically different from the a biconditional statement.
Hold on. Give me a sec. Give me like 2 seconds. My bad.
Oh my gosh.
Why do you keep going off to that, man?
Yeah, and I don't know who's interjecting either. I'm just making fun of you.
All right, my bad. You can continue. What were you saying?
Yeah, I was saying a biconditional statement is different from the material conditional statement.
I
That's
never
what
said
I
a material conditional. I said a material equivalence. A material conditional is connected to the conditionals. The material
Oh,
equivalence is
hold on.
connected to the
Hold on.
biconditional. I'm
A
pretty
biconditional
certain.
statement would still be different from a material conditional statement.
I
You
never
give
said
me-
material conditional. I'm saying a material
Yeah, that is how it
equivalent.
works, though. That is how it works.
No,
though.
okay, listen, I'm going to explain to you again. A material equivalence is connected to the biconditional. A biconditional says P if and only if Q. Not a conditional. A material conditional is just going to be indexed to the condition, to the basic conditional within propositional logic. It's basically saying if P then Q. This does not mean this means that it only can Q can only be true. Oh, okay, no, okay. Well, I already fucking explained it to you. I don't know why I'm explaining what a conditional.
You're not.
when
You
conditional is not
completely
even
what
my
you
argument.
said, and you would need a truth theory to substantiate on what you're saying.
What truth theory? Based on what? You need me to say it again? Wait, what?
Biconditional thing works, and you're like not tracking the argument.
Okay. So you're saying you would need a truth theory to substantiate what you're saying.
A logical biconditional statement is different from a material conditional statement.
Oh my God. I am not saying a material conditional. I am saying a material equivalence.
You're appealing to that, though.
I'm not appealing to a material
Yes, you
conditional
are.
because a material conditional would be indexed to a conditional.
Whoa, you trying to lie now? That's exactly what you said. That's verbatim what you stated.
Oh my God, bro. I have
You're
never
not tracking
said.
your own argument, dude.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Okay. So my argument is not that you are making a material conditional. I'm saying that you were making a material equivalence.
You did. You said it at first. That's exactly what
No,
you
I
said.
didn't. I said
Yes,
you're
you
making a
did.
biconditional, which is a material equivalence. Are you like? Is somebody helping you right now?
What? Nobody is helping me.
Then why do you keep on going off the app?
Because I'm doing other stuff. Are you my dad? Like, I can. Why does it bother you? We're still debating.
Okay, it doesn't bother me. Whatever. Sure. Fine.
Okay, cool. Then
Okay.
chill.
So listen. When I say you're making the material, basically the material conditional. I mean, material equivalence, not material conditional. So listen. What I'm necessarily saying is that when you're making the case that character A, which is actually we'll say that what's his name?
Well, to
Gilgamesh.
address this. Oh, sorry, my bad. You can continue.
Okay, so Gilgamesh will just be P, and the world which you think is outer versal will be Q. You're saying P if and only if Q, if P then Q, if Q then P. You're making the case.
Okay, so I'll address this. A material conditional statement or
Oh my god, he's still talking about material.
have the exact same truth value. So, like, what? And also, I'm not creating any conditional statement too.
Oh my god. Listen, so this is what I'm not saying. Can you stop? Okay, listen to me, right? I did not say material conditional. I said material equivalence.
You said it at the start of the debate. And then
No,
you
I
were
did
talking-
not. I said
Yes, you did.
biconditional. If I said that, then I made a mistake and I meant material equivalence. Therefore, that does not matter if I quote unquote said material conditional. Can you focus on the material equivalence? We have no reason to be focusing on a material conditional.
Material conditional. That's what you mentioned in the debate.
Oh
That's
my
why I was
god, you're
focusing.
lost.
What do you mean you're
Material
lost? You
equivalent.
were literally stuttering over your own argument.
Oh my
Genuinely
god,
cannot
bro,
protect
you're
you.
lost, bro. You're so trash.
So trash.
Material
Nigga, you ducked my
equivalence.
VC debate.
Material
What are you talking about, you trash?
equivalence. Material equivalence. Can you say that with me? Can you say the words material equivalence? Say
Nigga,
it.
I'm not allowed to be your entertainment. What the fuck you saying?
Can you
material equivalence
so
for?
you can actually understand what I'm saying? So
I do.
you're
Material
making a
equivalence.
biconditional. You are not making a conditional. You are making a biconditional. That means a material equivalence. And what this
No,
means
that means a material conditional. That is what a
No.
biconditional statement is.
Do you know what a material conditional and a material equivalence is?
Yes, I do. And I already explained it to you, right?
Do you know that?
That's
Wait,
what it works.
hold on. You just said you know what a material equivalence is. Do you think that a material equivalence is necessarily equal to a material conditional?
Basically, wait, can you repeat that? You spoke too fast.
Do you think that a material conditional is equivalent to a material equivalence?
No.
Okay, then I'm not saying if you do not think that these things are equivalent and you think that there's a distinction, therefore it would be the case that I'm using a material equivalence, which is not unique, which is not synonymous with a material conditional. And the material equivalence just means P if and only if Q. If P, then Q. In other words, we're saying P and Q are equivalent whenever one is true. So in the other case, right? We're saying whenever one is false, so is the other. There has to be a equivalence. That is the material equivalence, not the material conditional. We're saying it to be the case that if P, then Q, if Q, then P. Equivalence.
So what you're saying is if one, hold on. So you're saying if one thing is false and the other is true, or because I didn't really.
Okay, if P is true and Q is false, that would not be a material equivalence. You would be necessarily contradicting the biconditional route that you would be doing. If you were saying this to be the case, then you're saying that it is not the case that interaction is a sufficient and necessary condition for Gilgamesh to be outer versal.
What would signify the contradiction for that?
Okay, so for you to say that Gilgamesh destroyed the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
This would signify that the destruction is a form of interaction. Would you not agree?
It would be.
Okay, so if destruction is a form of interaction, we would say this to be the case that P, which is going to be Gilgamesh, if and only if Q, which is going to be the world, interaction, Gilgamesh interacting with the world is a sufficient and necessary condition for him to be ontologically equivalent to the world, which is outer versal.
Yeah.
Okay, and the reason why this does not work is because you would have to be positing the claim that this is outside of our mathematical understanding of how these mathematical frameworks or these logic processes work, and this
Oh
is
wait,
not the case.
wait. I have a scan. that says the world is beyond scientific
I don't care what the
definition.
world is. I'm saying Gilgamesh doesn't scale to this.
Yeah, you just said it. I already gave my justification.
I don't care what the world is.
You already
the world
said
can be universal.
fuck.
Listen.
Bro, you interrupted
I
me.
still man.
You just talked, though.
I
I
still
let you
man the
speak.
world being.
I just let you spoke.
Okay.
So what you were trying to say was that you were saying that it's not outside our like mathematical description, as you were saying earlier, right? And you were saying it's not outside our scientific definition. That's what you brought up. That's literally what you brought up, right?
Yeah. Okay. So since you accepted,
and I have a scan that disproves that. And
no, that's not the case. So and since you accepted,
that's what you just said.
listen. Since you accepted the biconditional relationship you were having with P and Q, it would be the case that you are positing some sort of claim to say that the interaction here is logically possible or mathematically impossible. It cannot be the case that he's interacting with this. Therefore, he has to be outerversal.
Can you repeat that last part?
Okay, I'm saying since you accepted the fact that you're making a biconditional relationship between P and Q, it would be the case that you were saying Gilgamesh interacting with the world or whatever this object is a necessary and sufficient condition or sufficient and necessary condition for him to be outerversal as well as the world is. That means he'd be ontologically equivalent to the world.
Okay. So basically to justify
You're good. I already steel man that the world is outerversal. I'm just attacking the ontology of Gilgamesh, and I'm saying him interacting with the world does not, or doing whatever with the world, the form of interaction does not make him outerversal because topology contradicts your claim. Interaction does not formulate a dimensional transcendence or dimensional promotion.
I think that'd be the law of non-contradiction because you already stated that he interacted with the world. You would that's self-defeating. You already defeated the argument, your own argument, and you admitted that he.
I don't care that he interacted. I don't care that he can interact.
You just defeated. Do you know what a self-defeater is?
Listen,
let me explain to you.
Let
me guide you like a father to a son. The law of non-contradiction states something cannot be P, not P at the same time.
Repeat yourself. Repeat yourself.
I said, right? The law of non-contradiction stated something cannot be P and not P at the same time. What I was simply trying to say, right, is that you in your own argument stated that Gilgamesh interacts with the world. And I was also trying to say, I forgot what I was going to say. Also, he just said that that's self-defeating because you already admitted that he was able to interact with it. And that would be scaling to it.
Okay, the interaction is not the problem. I agree that he can interact with this said thing. What we are talking about is that the interaction can happen, but interaction isn't what necessarily or sufficiently or accurately showcases that he scales to the object. I'm saying that the interaction does not make his ontology on the same level of the thing he's interacting with, based on topology.
It would, because ontology by definition is basically just existence.
Wait, hold on. Ontology is a whole different thing. Ontology is the okay,
hold on.
The ontology of these two things. Yeah, hold on. Relax. The ontology of these two different things are separate. They are distinct. They are not the same yet until you are making the claim that him interacting with the ontology of this other thing therefore changes Gilgamesh's ontology, or it makes the case that his ontology is now outerversal.
Well, it would be because, for example, right? Let me explain to you something. What was I gonna say again? Yeah. A three-dimensional being cannot interact with a four-dimensional being.
Yes, you can.
Obviously, if something is higher,
yes, it can.
No, they can't.
Yes, it can. I'm gonna explain to you why it can.
I'm gonna explain to you why you're wrong.
No.
Listen. 3D cube infinitely is not going to become a true tesseract.
Okay. Repeat yourself because I was interrupting.
I said you can stack a three-dimensional cube infinitely, and that's not going to signify that it becomes a true tesseract. So obviously, right? Let me give you an example, right? The gap between higher dimensions is obviously above. For example, to be higher dimensional, you would need qualitative superiority by definition. Qualitative superiority is being irreducible to a lower state of existence. So how can he be scaled to something that's higher dimensional and then still be lower dimensional? You would just be self-defeating on your end. You defeated your own argument.
So let me explain to you, right? Do you know what topology is?
I know what topology is.
Explain what topology is, because I don't think you actually do. You just said that for no reason. What is topology? Dumbass. Anyways, so don't say you know shit.
What do you mean dumbass? You didn't even let me finish.
Okay, you didn't. You just went on
ad hominem.
You just went off app. Explain what topology is. Explain what topology is.
Topology is properties. It's the properties of shapes that remains unchanging.
You just went to go search that up.
I didn't. I can show you my search history.
You
I
just got
didn't.
off the app and go search that up.
I didn't. I was on Discord. I mean, you can laugh. I was on Discord. I can show my search history.
Oh my goodness. Yo, Mr. Knight, you're a fucking idiot. Anyways, Zamasu, listen. Interaction is possible within a third dimensional being interacting with a higher dimensional being. Extra
No, that's
dimensions.
not.
Can you stop and let me
That's
fucking
still
finish?
self-defeating.
Can you let me finish? I didn't even say anything that would be necessarily a fucking argument yet. You're just fucking yapping. Anyways, extra dimensions does not equal qualitative superiority just because a space or has more dimension or axes. Then that does not automatically make an entity within the higher dimensional framework in an ontological sense higher dimensional or higher dimensional at all. So a higher dimensional coordinate system simply just adds. Wow, I just got fucking restricted. Hold on. A higher dimensional coordinate system simply just adds the degrees of freedom. It does not add a higher dimensional. It doesn't add whatever you're in the ontological sense. It does not make something inside qualitatively irreducible or above lower dimensions. And to the other point, you're saying interaction is impossible between these processes. That is not the case because topology shows us. What is that? Okay, topology is just a mathematical framework that shows or structure and continuity is about in topology a space is defined by points and how we relate to these adjacency, continuity, or limits, constraints. So when we say escaping a structure equals leaving a substance, we're saying Wally's feats are not, or not Wally's. We're saying what's his name? Gilgamesh's feats are not moving into a new higher dimensional space. What this means is the interaction between these two processes, the third dimension and the fifth dimension, can happen within topology or mathematical framework, which is logically possible because
that's not logically possible.
Yes, because
and
the
also
surfaces of these
extra
things can
dimension.
happen.
That's a straw man. I said an extra dimension, basically not extra. I said higher. I never brought up extra dimension. Extra dimension can be referenced to like a foreign dimension within the context of a fictional framework. I don't think extra dimension is like signifies for like qualitative superiority. And also back to what you said earlier, that still does not work because if what you're saying is true, right, then logically speaking, why can't what was I gonna say again? Yeah, logically speaking, why can't a 1D being perceive a 10-dimensional entity? What you're saying does not logically follow. This is already been contradicted by mathematics. And also,
okay, relax. It does logically follow within mathematics and topology and interaction. Space and substances in topology, a space, let's define it as X. Let's say the space is X. A space is X, right? It can represent a regulated framework, time, causality, and reality in Marble, right? All of that stuff, right? So let's say a subspace is just Y conditional X, right? Is part of the space, is part of that space with its own rules and constraints. So when we're saying intervention does not require containment or escape to discontinuity, we're saying that it makes the sense within topology, these said frameworks can actually interact with the surface of one another without any dimensional promotion between the two distinct entities. Interaction can happen within topology.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a question. First of all, within the context of not topology, but what I was gonna say is that humans still cannot perceive the 4 dimensions. Humans can only perceive 3 dimensions. So what you're saying still does not add up. And if what you're saying is true, right? What you're saying is not even an analytical truth or something that's true by definition.
Why?
What you're saying, because that's not what you're saying is not true by definition. That's not how it works. A lower dimensional being cannot interact with a higher dimensional being. And if this was the case, humans should be interacting with the 4th dimension, which is not possible.
You're just saying this to be the case without actually providing any substance or any framework or any mathematical processes. You didn't just
explain it. Using a reductio ad absurdum, a human can interact with the 4th.
Wait, listen. You're yapping. You're not saying anything. In topology, a lower dimensional subspace can intersect. Do you know what intersect and influence is, right? It can intersect or influence by higher dimensional structures. For example, I'll give you an example. A 2D plane inside of a 3D plane can be cut, moved, or altered, for example, by the 3D operations. Even if we were talking about the 2D plane can't fully perceive, quote unquote, the 3D object. So this interaction is possible.
Didn't you just say the 3D plane manipulated the 2D plane? Earlier you were saying, though, that a lower dimensional being can enter the higher dimensional one.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
Yes,
I
it
never
is.
said.
Yes, it is.
Wait. I never
Indeed.
made the claim. Wait, listen.
Huh?
I never made the claim.
What? Bro, this is backtracking. Oh
Can
my
you shut
God,
up?
bro.
Can you shut up?
Do
I
not
never
tell me
made
to
the
shut
claim.
up.
Well, can you shut up? I
Can
never
you
made the
stop?
claim. Can you let me speak? I never made the. You just said I made a claim, and I'm gonna tell you I didn't make the claim. You fucking dumbass. So listen.
Ooh, go ahead. Go ahead.
So listen. I never made the claim that a 2D character cannot jump into or can jump into the 10D to the 10D framework. I don't care about that. That can be
You
true or
did. You
false.
explained that
That does not
topology
matter.
allows
Wait,
for
that
lower
can be
dimensional
true
being
or
to
false.
activate.
That does not matter to what I'm arguing. You're not tracking. You're an idiot. Interaction does not guarantee
Can you let me
dimensional.
speak? What's the point?
Interaction does not interaction does not guarantee ontological promotion. Can you prove that, you fucking idiot?
Okay, first of all, ad hominem. I don't know why you keep trying to like roast me. Second of all, stop muting me and let me actually respond to your arguments. Damn. Like, you gotta chill out, bro. Like, let's take a deep breath, gang. You're not like, anyways, back to what I was saying. I didn't strawman you. As what you said earlier in the debate, you said a lower dimensional being can interact with a higher dimension one without it being a logical contradiction. And you explained that topology allows for this. And then they were trying to backtrack saying a 3D being can interact with a 2D, a 3D cube can interact with a 2D cube within that said space, but that would not signify a logical contradiction. What I'm saying is that you're backtracking because earlier you stated a lower dimensional being can interact with a higher dimensional one. And then you were trying to backtrack your point. Can you address this?
Okay, so do not interrupt me. I just let you yap. Okay, so listen.
Okay, you just be respectful. That's all I'm asking.
Shut up. So
Do
listen.
not tell me to shut up, bitch ass nigga.
Anyways, so listen. Earlier, I correctly explained that a lower dimensional entity can interact with a higher dimensional entity structure without any logical contradiction, as you just admitted. And that still holds within topology because topology supports that a subspace, aka a lower dimension, can intersect or influence or be influenced by a higher dimensional space, even if it cannot fully, quote unquote, perceive
I
or be.
addressed it.
No, you did not. Or be Can you shut up and let me fucking go?
Can you calm down?
I just let you yap. Stop fucking yapping. Listen.
Chill out. I know you're on your period, but calm down.
That was not funny. That was a third grade joke. Like you gotta step up. You gotta step up. You gotta step up. So listen, can you let me speak? Stop interrupting me. Okay. When you try to reframe it as basically what you tried to do is you reframe my argument by saying a 3D cube intersecting or interacting with a 2D cube. You're misrepresenting the situation that I was trying to frame you, that I was trying to give you. The scenario is actually that a lower dimensional space embedded in a higher dimensional ambient space interacting with the subspace. Exactly what I've been trying to fucking tell you this whole entire time. There's no contradiction and there's no point where I even backtrack. You're just saying I backtracked. Shortly, just to give you a little summary so you can actually understand, interaction across dimensions is consistent within topology, a mathematical framework which is logically possible. So if we were to say that your character interacted with whatever abstract concept, topology explains interaction with these abstract concepts, these abstract frameworks, and these abstract things, whatever it may be the case to be, whatever. Respond.
Yo, okay. So first of all, can you repeat that little last part again? Because I don't want to strawman it. Just repeat that last part. So I'm not gonna. So no one can say I'm strawmanning, or like. Yeah. So, anyways, what I was trying to say, right, is that for starters, when we talk about this, what I was saying is that using reductio ad absurdum, humans can perceive the fourth dimension. You still did not defeat it, as within mathematics, this would be contradicted, as you literally. Like, this would just make zero sense by your own logic. Humans should be able to interact with the fourth dimension. And also, if once again, right, a lower dimensional being can still not interact with a higher dimensional being, as the gap between higher dimensions is inaccessible. The whole point of being higher dimensional is that you're irreducible to a lower state of existence. So
Is that's your response? Okay. So problem with this, right? Okay, so that's not an reductio ad absurdum. It doesn't apply here when we're saying, like, let's say the claim is should be able to perceive the fourth dimension.
Yes, Mom.
The perception.